Hey everyone. So today, we're going to tackle something huge. It's a nearly 10-hour C++ tutorial, all packed into a single YouTube video. And that brings up a big question, right? Can you actually master a whole programming language this way? We're going to map out the entire journey for you so you can decide for yourself. Let's dive in.
Yeah, that really is the big question, isn't it? With so many courses and boot camps out there, the idea of just one video that has it all is pretty tempting. By the end of this breakdown, you'll have a super clear map of exactly what this video covers, and that'll make it way easier to decide if this 10-hour journey is the right one for you.
And what a journey it is. Just look at that number. 9 hours, 50 minutes, and 12 seconds of learning. This is not just a video, it's basically a full-on digital bootcamp, all condensed into one massive session. The commitment is huge, for sure, but hey, so is the potential reward. Learning a seriously powerful language from the ground up.
To make sense of it all, here's our plan. We'll start with a quick overview of the challenge itself. Then, we'll see how it gets you started with your very first program. After that, we'll get into the real meat of it, the core and advanced concepts. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at the complete learning path it offers.
So let's be clear. Our goal here is not to teach you C++ in the next few minutes. No way. It's to give you the ultimate guide to this tutorial. Think of us as your map for this mountain of information, so you can decide if it's a climb you actually want to make.
Every journey has to start somewhere, right? And this tutorial totally gets that. It kicks things off at the absolute beginning. It assumes you know nothing, which is honestly perfect for total beginners who might feel a little intimidated by the whole world of coding.
The approach here is super practical, right from the get-go. You don't start with a bunch of dry theory. Instead, it walks you step by step through setting up your coding environment. That's VS Code, and it does it for both Mac and Windows. Then, bam, you jump right in and write your first program. It's that classic hello world moment, but in this case, it's Namaste Dunya.
Okay, so with your first program under your belt, the tutorial shifts gears and gets into the main event, building a rock-solid foundation. This is the heart of the course, really. It's where you'll spend a good few hours mastering the essential concepts that don't just apply to C++, but to programming in general. It starts with the absolute building blocks, Things like variables for storing information, and then ways to make decisions in your code using tools like if-else statements. This whole section is about establishing that fundamental logic that every single program needs to function.
From there, the tutorial starts to expand your toolkit. You learn about loops for doing repetitive tasks and operators for doing calculations. It even covers the binary number system, which is pretty cool because it gives you a peek behind the curtain at how computers actually think. And finally, it introduces functions, the secret to writing clean, organized, reusable code.
This timeline really puts the learning curve into perspective, doesn't it? Within the first hour, you're already coding. By hour 6, you're organizing data with something called arrays. And by hour 9, wow, you're tackling one of C++'s most powerful and, let's be honest, sometimes feared features, pointers. You can really see the milestones you'd hit along the way. So once that strong foundation is set, the tutorial moves into its final act. It pivots towards more complex, advanced topics. This is where you go from someone who can write simple scripts to someone who really understands the deeper mechanics of the C++ language.
The video really doesn't pull any punches. It moves on to handling complex data with arrays and strings. It also covers pointers and dynamic memory. These are advanced concepts that give C++ its raw power and speed. It's why it's used in things like high-performance game engines.
Okay, let's zoom out and look at the big picture for a second. We've journeyed from just setting up a code editor all the way to managing a computer's memory. This tutorial is clearly designed to be a complete, self-contained learning path from start to finish. So what's the final verdict here? This 10-hour video is way more than just a tutorial. It's basically an attempt to package an entire introductory computer science course into one single on-demand video. It's really built for that dedicated, self-motivated learner.
And the learning doesn't even stop with the video. The creator also provides a ton of supplementary materials. We're talking downloadable notes, all the source code from the examples, and maybe most importantly, practice problems to help you actually make sure you've learned the material. It really is the whole package.
And that brings us right back to the central question. Now that you've seen the roadmap from Namaste Dunya all the way to dynamic memory, you have all the information you need to decide. Does this intensive, structured, all-in-one format fit your learning style? The path is all laid out for you. The only question left is, are you ready to walk it?